Christmas movies. A lost art, really. Working class families, children who believe in Santa like he himself is a religious icon, Christmas wishes and miracles coming true in the most extravagant and ridiculous, most convoluted ways. It is December in the USA, and this is around a time where people like me, who are super nostalgic, love to rewatch some good old Christmas classics to get into that good old Christmas spirit. I have seen many a top 10 Christmas movie lists, and there tend to be some crowd favorites. To name a few, It's a Wonderful Life, Home Alone, Elf, The Grinch, both versions, and even Die Hard. But there is one movie that never makes that list that I think is super underrated, and that movie is Last Holiday. Last Holiday was a movie released in 2006, and its production is really interesting. It is a loose remake of a UK movie of the same name, and that one was released in 1950, but of course this one released in 2006 was completely modernized and changed to fit, American culture. It was written by the duo Jeffrey Price and Peter Seaman, who wrote a couple of Razzie-nominated films, and Shrek the Third. And it was directed by Wayne Wang, who, after looking at his filmography, I think directs a lot of Chinese American films. So we already have a very interesting start. This movie also did not do that well in the box office, but I personally love this movie. Listen, this movie is such a Christmas movie, okay? It has quite a few of my favorite Christmas movie tropes, like big bad corporate guy as the villain, the Home Alone-esque trope of going ham and spending all your money because it's Christmas time, and working class protagonist who teaches everyone the true meaning of Christmas. It's so Christmas. So, because this movie doesn't receive the attention I think it deserves, today I would like to take you through the journey that is Last Holiday. I will be going through the entire movie this video, but I think even though I am explaining the entire movie, I think you should still watch it for yourself and witness the genius that is this movie. But without further ado, let's jump right into it and let's watch Last Holiday together. So, Last Holiday centers around our protagonist, Georgia Bird, who is portrayed by the legend Queen Latifah. And Georgia's main character traits are as follows. She is working class, she loves to cook, and she is super Christian. And I mean like super Christian. She regularly attends church, she sings in the church choir, she gets mad at other characters for cursing, and she's like constantly talking to God in this movie.
You playing with me, right? Pardon me? Oh, not you, him. You just not gonna cut me any slack at all, are you? Knock it off. Now, why you gonna send him all the way around here when you know I gotta die?
Who are you talking to, baby?
God.
Yeah, I just had to point it out because her character trait of being Christian is emphasized in this movie a lot in the most hilarious of ways. But anyway, at the start of the movie, she is attending choir practice at her church, where her pastor reminds everyone there that their local senator, Senator Dillings, will be coming to their service next Sunday. And it's kind of a weird way to start the movie, but remember that because it will come back later. She comes home and cooks along to an episode of Emerald Live, which used to be such a huge thing in the early 2000s. Oh my god, like I have so many memories of just watching Emerald Live with my mom when I was a kid.
Bam, 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 bam! And you take some green onions and you go bam!
And her neighbor, a young boy who lives next door named Darius, comes over to eat dinner with Georgia. Now, it is established in the movie that Darius lives next door, but I'm a little concerned for him as a character because he's like always at Georgia's house, and we never see the supposed grandparent that he lives with. So a little concerning for someone of his age. But while Darius is over, he finds Georgia's book of possibilities, which is really just a scrapbook that Georgia puts together of all her hopes and dreams. It's filled with food she wants to eat, places she wants to travel to, dreams she wants to accomplish. Amongst her hopes and dreams are spliced photos of her and her crush, Sean, who works with Georgia at a department store and is portrayed by none other than LL Cool J. I really love LL Cool J's acting in this film because his character, Sean, has a mutual crush on Georgia, but neither of them have like ever really acted on it. But the way that Sean looks at Georgia in those opening scenes are a bit intense. He kind of comes off a bit aggressive, like a little too eager.
Are you on your break?
Yes. Well, that's why I'm here. I wanted to ask you something.
Ask me what?
Huh?
And he kind of looks like he's ready to pounce on her at any second. So at the department store that Georgia works at, she works as an associate in the cooking department. And she is shown performing cooking demos and making food for all of the customers. And of course, we have a mean corporate supervisor character who comes in and yells at Georgia for making food for all of the moochers.
Stop feeding the moochers.
But Georgia's cooking also attracts the attention of Sean, who comes over and looks like he's about to undress her at any moment.
That's incredible.
Sean tries to ask out Georgia, but before he can fully get the question out there, Georgia accidentally drops some spoons and ends up bumping her head on an open cabinet, and then proceeds to faint, which is like Indian soap opera levels of dramatic. So Sean carries Georgia to a hospital wing within the department store. That's my first time seeing that one. That must be on the other side of America.
This must be that new geography.
Georgia's in the doctor's office and slowly coming to when she imagines Sean making like Riz faces at her. Yeah, this scene kind of comes out of nowhere and it takes me out every time. But yeah, eventually Georgia actually comes to, and the doctor in this department store hospital insists that they take a CAT scan to quote unquote avoid a huge workers' comp. And of course, the mean corporate boss man is like, oh God, we can't pay employees any more than we're already paying them. Please do the CAT scan, fucking hurry. But yeah, they do the CAT scan and it turns out that Georgia has a rare case of terminal Lampington's disease, which is like, I guess like brain tumors or something. Also, this scene is like super funny because the doctor character in here, Dr. Gupta, is like struggling to tell Queen Latifah's character that she has terminal Lampington's disease, and he keeps getting like overwhelmed and can't tell her diagnoses, even though all she's doing is like coming towards him and asking him what he means, and he just like keeps on getting so like flustered for no reason.
Well, I have, if not the harmless one.
I'm very sorry to tell you that. You see, in my opinion, it's the kind of... Now, please, this is very, very difficult for me. Oh, dear. I need to lie down.
Damn, dude, how did he become a doctor in the first place? I imagine as a doctor, you probably have to deliver bad news often. If, like, one patient takes you out, oh my God, like, are you okay? Okay, also, I'm like super confused by the setup of this place. Not only because they have a hospital in a department store, which again, I've never heard of, but earlier when Sean was carrying Georgia to the hospital, we saw that they were on like a second or like third floor. They're on some sort of upper floor, as shown by these customers in the back who are going up to their level through an escalator. But now when we look at the scene where Georgia is receiving her diagnosis from a different doctor, they seem to be on like a ground level, as evidenced by the people outside walking on the sidewalk. So did they go downstairs from where the CAT scan area is? Just how big is this place? I have never seen a department store like this. But anyway, so the doctors break it to Georgia that she only has like 3 weeks to live. And then Georgia receives news from Miss Sevenhead over here that she does not have the insurance coverage to pay for any surgery to remove her Lampington's tumors. So Georgia does what any normal person would do and goes home and cries. She looks through her book of possibilities, lamenting over all the dreams and goals she didn't get to accomplish. She tries calling her sister to tell her about her condition, but her sister is too busy being a single mother.
Anton!
So she then tries to tell her boss what's going on, but her boss is only concerned about being a dick and like interrupting her every time she tries to speak.
You see, Mr. Damien, excuse me, would you mind?
What?
Just turn it off.
And then even turns on this like audiobook by this universe's Elon Musk, whose name is Matthew Cragen.
I want you to hear this. This man lives his philosophy.
Rule 1. Life is not a popularity contest, but it is a contest.
More on Cragen later. He's gonna come back up. Realizing that she's wasting her time trying to talk to her boss, Georgia smashes his phone.
That's a $400 phone.
And tries to quit. which switches a flip in her boss, and he begs her to stay because it turns out that her department is the only department that is doing well across all of the department stores. And if she quits, they are apparently going to have like a shitty fourth quarter. Remember that too, because that will also come back later. But despite his bargains, Georgia is having none of it and storms out. I also love it because despite how goofy this movie is, the way that they portray the corporate boss negotiating with Georgia to stay is like honestly real corporation tactics.
Miss Burt, $1 more an hour. $1.50.
Oh, please don't quit. We'll offer you a 50-cent raise. Oh, Mr. Bossman, do you think I could have a moment with you, please? Oh, sure, Ethel. What's up? Yes. Well, to be frank, it's actually about my salary. I think it's about time that I've received a raise. You see, I've taken on a lot more responsibility this year, a lot of it that was self-initiated, and I think overall my performance really speaks to... I'm going to stop you right there. I understand. Oh, you do? This has been a long time coming. I know that you're a hard worker, you're right, and I want to reward that. Oh, wow, okay. That's great to hear. Yeah, that was a lot easier than I was expecting. I'm prepared to offer you $1 more per hour. $1 an hour? Okay, sir, I am not hourly. I am actually salaried. Wow. You want more? Oh, awkward. $1 an hour. That's like, you can't even get anything for $1 nowadays. Like even at the 99-cent store with tax, it's like more than $1. I get it. I hear you. Listen, I'm the cool boss, okay? I hear what you're saying. So let me do you a favor. $2 more an hour. Sir? Look, I'm really sticking my neck out for you, okay? If it were up to me, we'd all be making six figures, but actually, it is up to you. My salary is up to you, and my 60-hour work week is up to you. Hey, don't make me rescind my offer. You're really lucky, you know? I don't treat the other workers as well as I treat you, Ethel. Okay, you know what? This is bullshit, all right? First off, my name isn't Ethel, it's Ethan. And second off, wait, what? I know that this is bullshit. My coworkers know it's bullshit. And you know what? My coworkers and I, we're gonna form a union. Wait, no, don't form a union. You underpaid worker and underpaid worker, you may now kiss the underpaid worker. No! As Georgia storms out, Sean follows her and attempts to ask her out on a date to a basketball game. The only thing, though, is that this basketball game is weeks away, and Georgia will probably be dead by then. So she tells him that she would love to go, but it's just bad timing. She then goes to the church service that Senator Dillings was supposed to be at, but it turns out he's not there. And the scene is honestly one of my faves because Georgia is like overcome with grief. So she starts to sing about it and then eventually gets backed up by the choir and the whole church service just like gets lit.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, why me? Oh, dear Lord, why me?
Georgia? Why me, Lord? Why me, Lord?
Lord, dear Lord, why me? Bless the Lord. Lord, why? Oh, no.
Come on,
Lord, come on. Come on, Lord, why? I don't understand. I followed your commandments, Lord. Why in heaven's feet? I never slept around, even though my sister did. Why in
Trusting that she won't have a better chance than now, Georgia books a flight to the Czech Republic to one of her dream destinations in her book of possibilities, Hotel Poop. And she cashes out all her bonds, all of her retirement funds, so that way she can blow it on this sick-ass vacation.
I'm just gonna blow it.
Hell yeah. There is nothing I love more than blowing all my fucking money. Now, during Georgia's journey to and in the Czech Republic, Georgia just keeps making these baller moves. On the plane to the CZ, she goes off on the airline for cramping too many people in coach, and then just upgrades herself to first class on the spot. I also find this scene super funny because the stewardess comes in just to show off this beautiful turkey that first class is gonna get, and you think that she's gonna cut Georgia a slice, but she just walks away.
For our first class clients flying with us during the holidays, we thought we would do something special.
You know how I feel.
Does she not actually get to eat it? Where are you going? When Georgia lands, she sees that the taxi times are going to take too long, so she does baller move number 2 and takes a helicopter to the hotel. Taking the helicopter to the hotel also starts this chain reaction of everyone just wondering who this mysterious rich stranger is.
What's going on? I'm not sure, Congressman. Who is that?
Who is that?
Who the hell is she?
It's also really great too because throughout the movie, these characters just keep on wondering who she is, and they keep playing this game of telephone where they blow her backstory out of proportion, even though she's barely even talked about her background. They just keep on making wild assumptions. Georgia enters the hotel, and it's totally this whole Home Alone 2 Lost in New York moment where she's just taken aback by all the luxury of the hotel, which honestly, I would too. She finds out that Senator Dillings, who was supposed to be at her church service last Sunday, has actually been vacationing here the entire time, and that's why he couldn't make it to their meeting. Wow. Just like in real politics. She also finds out that Matthew Cragen, the Elon Musk audiobook guy from earlier, is also staying at the hotel. And he is the real corporate, disgustingly pro-capitalist antagonist of this Christmas movie. The supervisor before, he was just small apples, but this guy, he lives, breathes, and eats corporate culture only for breakfast because he is intermittent fasting.
But I didn't eat. Generally, I'll go for some oatmeal, but I'm not afraid of doing intermittent fasting. In fact, sometimes I wake up, I don't have much of an appetite, I do intermittent fast. Let's get the Lenovo Smart Assistant, powered by Google, to help us out this morning.
So Cragen is the CEO of the department store that Georgia was working at before, and he's here on vacation with Senator Dillings and his assistant, Allison. There's also a congressman and his wife here, but they're not that important, so I'm not going to talk about them. Georgia notices Cragen whispering in Allison's ear, and she just immediately makes the conclusion that they're having an exploitative affair, which is not far from the truth, but how did you get it from that? So she drops by Allison and tells her that he's gonna have a shitty fourth quarter.
It's any consolation, he's gonna have a shitty fourth quarter.
Referencing the conversation she had with her shitty boss. But yeah, she finds out that her room isn't ready yet, so she goes ahead and upgrades herself to the presidential suite.
$4,000 a night.
Did you see me play?
For dinner, Georgia goes to the hotel's, I assume, Michelin star restaurant, owned and overseen by none other than Chef Didier, a chef from Georgia's Book of Possibilities. Senator Dillings immediately takes notice of Georgia, and did I mention that he is portrayed by Giancarlo Esposito? Yeah, that's right. Gus Breaking Bad is here.
How lucky for me.
I'm delighted to hear that.
And he has a crush on Queen Latifah.
Hello, sister.
A waiter tells Georgia the specials for tonight and explains that Chef Didier never makes the same menu twice. So, Georgia goes ahead and orders the entire menu.
Guess I better try them all tonight then.
Toots. Oh.
Chef Didier, who is completely offended that he has to make low-fat and health-conscious substitutions for his patrons,
No dairy, no fat, merde!
is completely enamored by Georgia's order because she requested the entire menu with no substitutions. So he goes out to greet her personally, starting the one-sided rivalry for attention between her and Cragen. Cragen, upset that the chef did not come by his table, tells the maitre d' to make sure that the chef does come by his table, and also to fire one of the waiters that accidentally poured water over his hand earlier. And look how this guy slaps the back of that waiter's head. I guess that's just what it's like in the food industry, though. We also get this like really weird scene where Georgia and Chef DDA bond over pork fat being in the food and how like fatty and delicious it is. A sentiment of the early 2000s, really. But then Chef DDA kind of like takes it a bit too far and starts making pig noises.
Yeah. Chef DDA, you crazy.
Meanwhile, back in Louisiana, Dr. Gupta is still torn up about the news that he broke to Georgia. Honestly, this is affecting him so severely. Like, how is he a doctor? What happens when he has cancer patients? Oh my god. Sean comes to visit him and asks if he knows anything about Georgia's disappearance, and that's when Dr. Gupta spills the beans about her condition. Which again, how is he a doctor? That is a major HIPAA violation. We get another fun scene of Georgia enjoying all the spa services at the hotel, and when she goes into the hot tub, Senator Dillings tries to make a pass at her, but Georgia makes it clear that she is disappointed in how he has neglected his community. Cragen sees them together though and kind of goes like on this like angry little like temper tantrum and like is just like, who is she?
I mean, who is she?
Georgia goes back to her room to relax, and that is when we are introduced to a character named Gunther, who is portrayed to be like this nosy, villainous grump of the hotel staff. Gunther helps Georgia book some snowboarding lessons, and it is implied that she will be up to no good later. So Georgia takes these snowboarding lessons, right? But like in typical like family-friendly, fun Christmas movie fashion, she doesn't know how to brake and ends up boarding all the way down like a black diamond hill. And we know it's a black diamond run because they explicitly say so in the film for like no reason.
Matthew, this is a black diamond run.
But yeah, Cragen sees this and takes it as like competition and tries to race her even though she is like clearly like in need of help. He also like face plants and falls and like curses a little bit, and Georgia gets mad at him for cursing, of course.
Damn it!
What's your mouth?
Cause she's Christian. She's Christian. She believes in God. You can't curse around her. She's Christian.
Shitty fourth quarter.
But yeah, again, sticking to the whole family-friendly movie trope, Georgia, of course, lands perfectly, and Cragen, because he is the antagonist, falls on his face. After snowboarding, Georgia goes and gets another massage when she overhears Allison, Cragen's girlfriend from earlier, yelling at a masseuse because her neck hurts from giving too much head, I think.
You got tension in your neck because you keep going down on Mr. Cragen.
Georgia puts Allison in her place by calling her a Karen, and then they proceed to have this heart-to-heart talk where Allison reveals that like she doesn't really want to leave Cragen because she's worried about her career, and Georgia tells her, dude, just leave him and go back to school and be your own woman. So that inspires Allison to consider the idea of leaving Cragen. We cut back to Louisiana where Sean is still searching for Georgia, and this time he searches for her at her house.
Georgia?
Which is a little sus. How did you know where she lived? Darius recognizes Sean from the Possibilities book and then gives him a little attitude for no reason.
Where's Georgia?
Hold on.
What?
Hold on.
And then he shows him the book. So Sean sees these spliced images of Georgia and him together, right? And he's just fine with it. Listen, man, even if I liked you back, if I saw that you stole my employee of the month photo to make your weird, twisted little scrapbook of us getting married together, I don't know. I don't know if I'd stay around for that.
If you feel that something is not right, ask for help.
But yeah, so they ignore the creepiness of that and use the book to figure out that Georgia probably took a vacation to Hotel Poop. And speaking of Hotel Poop, Georgia has another dinner at Chef DDA's restaurant, but this time he has reserved a special table just for her, prompting all of Cragen's friends to ditch him and go sit with Georgia at her table. They keep trying to pick her brain and find out more information about her, but they keep on misinterpreting her normal everyday activities with like big finance moves.
Actually, I just clipped a lot of coupons.
And when you say coupons, you obviously mean bonds?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
In what world would coupons mean bonds, Cragen?
Oh, hey man. Yeah, are those new shoes? Those look dope.
Oh yeah, they are. Thanks for noticing. Yeah. These were pretty expensive, but, you know, I just thought they're higher quality, they're going to be more durable, and they're really comfy, so I thought it was a good investment.
Oh, man. I didn't know you were rich.
Oh, no, I'm not rich. I saved up for these.
What, do you have, like, rich parents or, like, a sugar daddy or, like...
No, I literally just
put money aside to pay for these? Setting money aside? Like, where? What stock are you investing in? You doing AMZN, MCST, CUM? No, like literally in my savings account. Your savings account, like overseas, or like are you into like foreign trade? Do you have a money laundering thing? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Where am I?
The group finds out that Georgia has plans to go base jumping, and they all want to go too, to watch, which ignites more competition in Kragen, and he declares that he is also going to base jump with her. And of course, when they actually get around to doing the base jumping, of course Georgia rocks at it, and then Kragen like chickens out and blames it on the lack of rigging.
Can it be not connected to rigging?
Disappointing.
Frustrated that Georgia keeps showing him up, Kragen pays Gunther to find out more information on Georgia. Because remember, Gunther is nosy. She is the mischievous, nosy character. Meanwhile, though, Georgia is reflecting on her time at Hotel Poop. Because she's finally gotten around to doing all these cool things when she barely has any time left to do it. So she writes a letter instructing whoever finds her deceased body to cremate her rather than bury her in a coffin, so that way she doesn't have to keep living in the box. She also talks to herself in the mirror and talks about what she'll do next time, which I thought was a little weird because it's like, okay, she's like a super Christian character. Christians don't believe in reincarnation. What do you mean next time? But anyway, so she writes this letter, right? And then she hides it in her Bible because of course she brought a Bible to vacation. And then she goes to the casino with Kragen's friends, where, again, in true Georgia fashion, ends up winning like $100,000 by betting on 17 black several times in a row in roulette. Also, I love how they depict Kragen's friends shifting over to Georgia's side because they kind of just like follow her mindlessly like lemmings.
Can I cash in my chips, please?
Oh, yes, I'd like to cash in mine as well.
I need to. Thank you.
Oh, Georgia's cashing out. We want to cash out too. While Georgia is watching the Smokey Robinson concert, Gunther is digging around her personal belongings, finds out that she works in a department store, but also finds her letter that she left in her Bible. Gunther then softens up, realizing that Georgia was truly a genuinely nice person the entire time, and decides to not reveal any information to Kragen, except for the fact that she used to work in one of his department stores. When Georgia returns from the concert, Gunther apologizes for digging through her stuff and finding out that she has Lampington's disease, and Georgia is honestly relieved that someone else knows about it so that way she can talk to someone about it. But during this conversation too, Gunther convinces Georgia that she should be surrounded by the people she loves rather than all these rich snobby people. So Georgia sets out to do just that. She sets out to return to Louisiana so that way she can finally be with Sean. The thing is though, because Sean figured out that Georgia was probably at Hotel Poop, he has just arrived at the Czech Republic. And Sean and Georgia are both now on their way to go see each other, but they are both stopped by an avalanche that has blocked the road. So Georgia has no choice but to stay at the hotel, and Sean has no choice but to walk through the snow.
Snow sucks.
And honestly, you know, I clowned on Sean before, but kind of a real one. Kragen, though, now knowing that Georgia works for one of his department stores, does some digging and finally figures out that she was an associate in the cooking department. Georgia, during her last night at this hotel, gets to work with Chef Didier in the kitchen and several things. First off, what sort of Michelin star restaurant just allows a random non-professional to work in their kitchen? And two, why is everyone in the back so chill? Look at all the background actors for this restaurant. They are not in a rush. Are you kidding me? If this were a Michelin star restaurant, things would be on fire. There would be sweat and tears. Have you seen The Bear?
26 beefs, 34 chickens, okay? 12 french fries, 12 mash, fucking now!
It is nothing like that. Look at that guy. He's just caressing a head of lettuce. Meanwhile, back in Louisiana, because Dr. Gupta is still going through it, like weeks later, he is shown to be testing out the CAT scan, and it turns out that that CAT scan was actually producing the same markings on each scan that it made. So they come to the conclusion that the CAT scan is actually faulty, and Dr. Gupta goes to Georgia's house and finds Darius, and they find a way to relay the message to the hotel that Georgia Georgia is actually just fine. She doesn't have Lampington's disease. So Dr. Gupta sends a fax over. Meanwhile, during this New Year's Eve dinner, Matthew attempts to go on this smear campaign of Georgia and reveals that she is actually just a retail associate. And people are just so shocked and they're like, Georgia, is this true? Are you actually working class?
Georgia, is this true?
And she's like, yeah. I never said otherwise. And Cragen is all like smug about it at first, but that's when Georgia drops the bomb that she is like going to die. And that's when things get really real. She also goes on this monologue about how she was just happy to have experienced all these things and that she didn't mean to mislead anyone. But yeah, she ends up just leaving to have a moment for herself. And all of Cragen's friends leave Cragen because, you know, he's a jerk. And even Allison leaves Cragen and tells him that she's gonna leave him and also go back to school, leaving Cragen to be all alone for the new year. Allison finds Georgia and apologizes to her, but like in the middle of it, for whatever reason, a hotel worker finds Georgia to tell her that Cragen is about to like jump off the roof, which like, why is he telling her? I mean, they're not family. They didn't come here with each other. They just like barely got to know each other at this place. Why did the worker bother her with this? Yeah, so Cragen is sitting out on a ledge and Georgia decides to sit with him to talk him out of it. They also keep cutting to the senator and congressman staring up at them and just making all these quips at each other, which is kind of funny.
What the hell's he doing? He does not take rejection well. Oh no, what's she doing out there? Oh my goodness.
Leave this guy.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year!
Allison is also out here encouraging Cragen to jump, which is like, damn girl, chill a little.
Get back in here. You know you're not gonna jump. You couldn't even jump off the dam.
Equipment failure.
Georgia talks Cragen out of jumping and also starts to talk to him about her dreams. And that's when they hear Sean calling for her in the distance. And he made it. He walked through the snow. He made it to Georgia. He climbs up onto the ledge as well. And they're all hanging out up there. And Sean and Georgia confess to each other. And then Gunther finds the facts that explains that Georgia doesn't have Lampington's disease. And Gunther goes out there too. And they're all out on the ledge and it's all happy endings. And wow, Georgia's not gonna die.
You get off this ledge now?
Yeah.
It's colder than snowman's ass out here.
Hey, come on. Sean cursed. Are you not gonna say anything about that? You know what? She looked like she was about to, though. And she gets the man, and she walks off with $100,000 from the casino. Everyone's happy. This is truly a Christmas miracle. This calls for Georgia talking to God again.
You are funny. You had me going for a minute. You so wrong. How you gonna do me like that?
Come on.
The movie then cuts to an unspecified time into the future, and Georgia is running her own successful restaurant. There's this guy who comes into the kitchen who tries to tell Georgia that, like, there's a line forming outside of her restaurant, and, like, everyone just fucking ignores him.
Hey, it's getting crazy out there. Everybody's arrived.
Go and see you to your friends. I'll take care of the rest, okay?
It's so great. Everyone is there. Darius comes to the restaurant. Dr. Gupta visits and says that he quit his job. And everyone's like, yeah, you shouldn't have had that job.
I quit my job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, congratulations.
I quit my job.
You should never have had
Yes,
that
I did.
job.
I quit my job.
Emerald Lagasse also comes and visits, and all he says is congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you so much for inviting me.
For coming.
Thank you. Congratulations. She loves you. Congratulations.
She loves you. Congratulations. And then the movie ends with those fun here's what everyone's doing now epilogues. The version that I watched though was broken and didn't have the little subtitles, but it's also low-key kind of funnier that way to just watch these clips play followed by these pan images that are like seemingly wildly unrelated. So fucking good. And that is Last Holiday. Now, to say that this movie is a masterpiece would be honestly an understatement. Come on. The connection between all the characters, how every detail at the start of the movie comes back, no matter how ridiculous it is. Emerald Lagasse clearly having no idea what he was supposed to do in the one scene that he was in the movie for.
Congratulations.
It's all so great. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this movie as much as I did. Hopefully, I have convinced you to add it to your rotation of holiday movies. It's honestly so underrated. And remember, whenever you find yourself in a difficult life situation, blow all your money and travel to the Czech Republic, I guess. If you watched this video all the way to the end, I just want to say thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you and your family have a very wonderful holiday season. Okay, bye.